Who should not make this Team USA team? Caitlin Clark destroys in day 2 of Team USA camp, looking like the best player in the world.
Want to know what went down when Caitlin Clark stepped back into Team USA camp after battling through months of rehab? Angel Reese didn't just get frustrated or lose her starting spot. She completely walked away from camp once Clark took control of every single practice session they shared. Sue Bird and Coach Kara Lawson witnessed Clark running perfect fast breaks with Boston, draining threes from the logo, and dictating the game flow like those injury months never happened. At the same time, Reese couldn't find her place in an offense that suddenly centered around Clark's vision and pace. What's your take on whether Reese earned her spot on Team USA? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you're supporting Caitlin.
Just really thankful for, the training staff and player development and everybody that has kind of been there with me. They haven't taken a break either because they invest a lot of time and they want me to be successful. So I think for myself, it's not proving it to yourself again, but it's just that feeling. And I think it just made me smile quite a bit. I really did kind of feel like myself out there and just continuing to get my lungs back. But I felt like I was moving really well. So it was pretty satisfying.
Nobody saw this coming when Clark stepped onto that practice court for the first time since her extended absence. She'd been away from competitive basketball since mid-July when that groin problem first surfaced. The quad issues followed. Then came the ankle bone bruise. Each setback kept extending her time on the bench through most of her second season, cutting her down to only 13 games after that incredible rookie campaign where she broke 62 different records. The big question hanging over everything was whether all those months of treatment and recovery had dulled that explosive talent. Players and coaching staff were watching nervously as she attempted her first shots and ran through initial play. The atmosphere in that gym was thick with anticipation. Had her explosiveness survived the layoff? Would those nagging injuries affect her mobility? Could months away from elite competition show up as rust in her performance? Sue Bird positioned herself courtside with a focused expression, analyzing Clark's every move. Coach Kara Lawson's attention stayed locked on Clark throughout warm-ups, searching for any hints that the time may had disrupted her natural flow.
Being hurt is an incredibly isolating thing, and you don't really understand it until you go through it. And then I think the challenge for myself was just, it was one injury and then it was a little better, and then it kind of continued to compound and get worse, and, other things pop up, and then I had the ankle injury. So it feels nice to finally be back to 100%. And
Clark started draining shots from way beyond the arc, like those months off never existed. Her trademark step-back jumper maintained that crisp, confident form from day one of her legendary rookie campaign. Each shot left her hands with that identical smooth motion that made her a household name. She stepped back from 30 feet and buried 3 consecutive attempts without showing any strain. Other players paused their own work to witness her shooting display. The net barely rippled as shot after shot dropped through clean. Her ability to read the court stayed laser-focused as she delivered passes through impossible angles that most guards never attempt. Clark recognized developing plays 2 full seconds before they materialized. She fired precise passes through triple coverage that somehow reached their intended targets without fail. In one transition sequence, she flicked a blind pass behind her back that met her teammate perfectly in rhythm for an uncontested score. The entire coaching staff shared knowing looks because they realized they were watching something extraordinary return to form.
One of the things that stands out to me in looking at this, it's not just that she's back on the basketball court and it's a relief, but her speed seems to be back. We saw it on that step back 3 on the first day of practice, but there was a play in the day 2, and this play for a number of reasons is very exciting to watch. But number one, let's start with the speed. You see Caitlin Clark gets the dribble handoff from Aaliyah Boston. It's the way she turns the corner and how quickly she gets down that stands out to me here. Look, coming downhill, great pass, right, to Jackie Young down there. So dribble handoff, and just moving quick with intent, gets it to Jackie Young, who misses the layup, but fights.
Her intensity during every drill was infectious, forcing everyone around her to elevate their own effort and execution. Clark transformed basic ball movement exercises into fierce battles for perfection. She attacked each station with clear intention, setting standards that pushed teammates beyond their comfort zones. Her competitive fire spread through the group as players began cutting sharper, running harder, and competing at levels they hadn't touched all camp. The entire energy of practice transformed the moment Clark took the floor. Sue Bird, observed from her courtside position, and couldn't mask her surprise at how quickly Clark regained her dominant rhythm. Bird told media afterward that Clark's performance exceeded all expectations. Bird had witnessed countless players struggle through comeback attempts after long absences, but Clark made the transition look seamless. This player missed the entire summer season, so seeing this level of performance on her first day back was remarkable. Bird explained to gathered reporters once practice concluded.
Seeing her back out on the floor at all is a big deal. And probably people holding their breath a little bit too, but just all of her movements look good. That's the most important thing. But that speed burst, that ability to get up the court quickly has stood out, because I do think that was something she never quite got all the way there in year two, just because of the myriad of injuries, because she started in the preseason with the quad injury. And that's another differentiator for her, is how quickly she can move with the basketball.
Kara Lawson expressed similar amazement at what unfolded during practice. Lawson emphasized that Clark's impact showed on both offense and defense, demonstrating that her skills hadn't deteriorated at all. She described Clark as an exceptional talent who maintained complete focus and intensity throughout every drill. The compliments from both Bird and Lawson meant something significant, because neither coach was known for giving praise easily. It quickly became obvious that Clark hadn't simply returned to her previous level. She was performing at heights that surpassed her pre-injury peak. Her decision-making appeared more refined. Her presence as a leader felt more commanding. The confidence she displayed while directing teammates carried a mature authority that everyone immediately recognized. Every play she orchestrated seemed to unfold with flawless timing and precision.
Reese can be an asset and a value, rebounding, being tenacious on this team, and being just a role player, which is what she should be. She's not a star go-to player. Rebound, and that's it. That's all. Rebound and play defense. That's all you got to do. That should be your role, but your team in the WNBA sucks so bad that you're trying to do more, and that's just not you.
Clark's instant impact confirmed she was prepared to guide Team USA toward championship success. Those rehabilitation months hadn't diminished her abilities. They had sharpened them. She returned with greater hunger, enhanced intelligence, and stronger determination to prove her rookie achievements weren't lucky accidents. The 2026 World Cup and 2028 Olympics suddenly tarred much brighter prospects, with Clark healthy and prepared for leadership responsibilities. However, her individual excellence was just the opening act of the drama about to unfold. Angel Reese's response to being consistently outperformed revealed aspects of her mindset that stunned everyone at camp. While Clark maintained her dominance across all areas of practice, Reese watched her influence diminish and her opportunities evaporate. The coaching staff began designing more schemes around Clark's tempo and approach. Reese spent increasing time observing from the bench, rather than contributing as she anticipated. Her typical post-scoring chances vanished as the team emphasized quicker ball rotation and perimeter shooting.
The GOAT is back. Look at the rain. Man, she's back, bruh. She's back.
Oh, watch it. Pick up, pick up.
Oh, no.
Rather than adjusting her approach or increasing her work ethic, Reese began displaying obvious frustration during meetings and practice sessions. She showed clear annoyance when coaches outlined new strategies that positioned Clark as the featured player. Between drills, she voiced complaints to teammates about limited touches in the paint. Her intensity dropped significantly whenever she wasn't the centerpiece of offensive possessions. Other players began recognizing how her negative attitude was affecting practice atmosphere. She couldn't maintain Clark's relentless pace throughout scrimmages. Her low post game appeared sluggish and outdated within the new framework. While Clark accelerated fast breaks at incredible speed, Reese required additional time to secure favorable position underneath. The difference became glaring during transition exercises, where Clark's unit scored rapidly while Reese's group depended on slower half-court execution. Her movement couldn't match the tempo Clark brought to every sequence. The performance gap between their styles became undeniable. Teammates observed her demeanor shift as she recognized Clark was claiming the leadership position she expected to hold. Reese grew quiet during timeouts when Clark began directing defensive rotations. She appeared disconnected on the sideline while coaches highlighted Clark's smart choice. Her typically vocal leadership disappeared as Clark's instructions became what everyone focused on. Players who previously sought Reese's guidance started responding to Clark's direction instead.
And then this is gonna surprise some people, but I think she has versatility. She can score, she can play defense, she has size. I have De'Erica Hamby starting at the 4. I got De'Erica Hamby starting at the 4, and I got Indiana Fever's own Caitlin Clark's running mate, Aaliyah Boston, starting at the 5. That's my starting 5. That's my starting 5. Caitlin Clark, Jackie Young, Kalia Copper, De'Erica Hamby, and Aaliyah Boston. That's who I have in.
The competitive scrimmages brought the tension to its breaking point. Clark's squad executed crisp offensive patterns, while Reese's team searched for consistent rhythm. Each possession demonstrated the gap between Clark's basketball intelligence and Reese's narrow skill set. Clark generated simple scoring chances for others, while Reese insisted on post entries that disrupted offensive flow. The coaches documented how Clark's leadership approach maximized her teammates' abilities. The decisive moment arrived during a scrimmage, where Clark's team dominated Reese's group by 20 points across just 15 minutes. Clark connected on 4 perimeter shots in the opening 5 minutes, while Reese converted only 2 attempts total. Clark's distribution created wide-open opportunities for teammates, while Reese's post-isolations led to difficult shots and possession losses. The margin was too large to consider the competition close. Coaching staff ended the scrimmage early because the gap continued expanding. Reese's outburst following that scrimmage featured grievances about minutes and system compatibility that coaches viewed as unprofessional. She insisted the offensive approach didn't highlight her interior strengths effectively. She questioned Clark's prominent role as the primary playmaker. Her complaints grew louder as she demanded more post opportunities and deliberate offensive execution. The coaching staff showed visible concern as Reese aired her disappointments publicly.
That burst is back, and therefore, Caitlin Clark, I would call her number 22, but in this case, number 17, is back. Just the way she gets up the floor, control of the ball, control of the step back, pure. All that. She said she had to get her conditioning back. Sue Bird said that was one thing it would take her a little bit of time to work towards.
Her objections went beyond strategic disagreements into personal issues about status and acknowledgement. She felt undervalued despite her college achievements and professional accomplishments. She assumed automatic roster inclusion based on her track record and past success. The concept of earning her position through camp performance created frustration she couldn't manage rationally. She refused to accept that previous achievements didn't guarantee future selection. Her choice to leave camp happened after realizing roster spots required earning through merit, not reputation. The coaches clarified that no player possessed guaranteed positions on the final squad. Everyone needed to demonstrate their value through practice effort and scrimmage production. Reese couldn't handle competing for a spot she believed she automatically deserved. She announced her exit before final evaluations even started. Reese's departure confirmed that Team USA prioritized building around competitors who thrived under pressure and challenge. The program sought athletes who raised their performance when tested, not players who wilted under competitive demands. Her failure to adapt demonstrated exactly why she didn't match the team's winning culture. Clark's professional handling of the situation showed precisely why she was prepared to guide the team toward gold medal success.
This is what makes Caitlin Clark so special, all right? And this is what put pressure on defenses when she's out there, even if her shot isn't falling. All right, watch this. She gets the rebound. She's pushing the floor. Look at this tempo. Look at this tempo, fam. Pushing the floor. Absolutely rushing the defense. And then this is what happens when you do things like this. Look, watch this. Look, now you got a wide open AB over here in the corner. I know it might be hard to see, but a wide open AB. All because she grabbed that rebound and pushed the tempo.
The developing connection between Clark and Aaliyah Boston revealed a fundamental issue with how Angel Reese approaches today's basketball landscape. Clark and Boston had built rapport during their Fever experience, but everyone wondered whether that chemistry would translate effectively within Team USA's framework. The coaching staff needed confirmation that this partnership could enhance the entire roster, rather than just regular season connection that wouldn't succeed against international competition. The opening scrimmage provided immediate answers. Clark's deliveries consistently found Boston positioned perfectly for effortless finishes. Boston cut toward the basket, and Clark hit her with surgical precision. Boston rolled to the rim and Clark threaded passes through multiple defenders. Their synchronization appeared instinctive. Their communication happened without words but remained flawless. Every sequence they shared together flowed like they had rehearsed it countless times before.
Caitlin knows when to do this, when not to do this. That's what makes her special. Now, there are other guards that can recognize when to push the floor and when not to, but I'm just pointing out what's special about Caitlin, along with those 3 balls that she can knock down. When her shot isn't falling, this is what makes her a weapon. Although her shot isn't falling, people still respect her to the level where they're like, hey, she can get hot, man. We're not gonna just allow her to be open just because she missed 1, 2, 3 shots. We're not gonna allow that, man. Stay on her. That gravity that she holds, man, it opens up the defense like this.
Their transition partnership dominated scrimmage situations completely. Clark would secure a defensive board and instantly locate Boston streaking toward the opposite basket. The pass reached Boston exactly when she needed it. No adjustment or hesitation required. Boston caught it in perfect stride and scored before defenders could respond. They converted defensive stops into easy points within seconds. The coaching staff tracked their transition success rate, and the statistics were remarkable. Boston's floor spacing provided Clark with operating room she never enjoyed with the Fever. Boston extended beyond the three-point arc and opponents had to respect her shooting ability. This opened driving paths for Clark that simply hadn't existed previously. Clark attacked those lanes aggressively, knowing Boston would either be available for assists or positioned for offensive rebounds. The court geometry was ideal. Clark's playmaking transformed Boston into an elite center worthy of all-star conversation. Boston's screens created open looks for Clark. Clark's passes positioned Boston where she couldn't possibly miss. Boston began attempting shots from court areas she rarely explored during regular season play. Her confidence increased with every shared possession. She performed with greater size, strength, and intelligence when Clark controlled the offense.
Can't rule anything completely out. Like that team up right there. But I expect to see them really playing well off of each other in Team USA and in a Team USA uniform over the next several years, and the next couple of versions of that team. Just because Jackie Young knows how to do almost everything out on the court, and she would just thrive, I think, and she will thrive playing alongside Caitlin Clark.
Each sequence they executed together displayed basketball intelligence that left other players struggling to match their level. They diagnosed defensive seams instantly and modified their actions appropriately. Clark would communicate plays and Boston would understand her destination before the instructions finished. Their grasp of spacing, timing, and positioning was remarkably advanced. Other teammates studied their communication patterns, trying to develop similar chemistry. Reese became completely disconnected when sharing court time with this elite partnership. She couldn't locate her positions in the paint because Boston and Clark controlled possessions too rapidly. Their pace left Reese trailing on every transition sequence. She required time for post-establishment, but Clark's offense moved too quickly for that approach. Reese appeared confused about her function within their system. The difference became obvious during team exercises, where Clark and Boston excelled while Reese looked uncertain about her responsibilities. Clark would signal a play, and Boston would execute it flawlessly. Reese would remain in the corner uncertain whether to move or stay stationary. The coaching staff observed how smoothly Clark and Boston functioned compared to Reese's visible hesitation. Every drill emphasized the gap between players who grasped modern pace and those still using outdated methods. This partnership demonstrated that Team USA's foundation would center around pace and connection, not individual post scoring. Clark and Boston illustrated what elite basketball resembled when two intelligent players enhanced each other's abilities. They created scoring opportunities for teammates while making complex plays appear simple. Their basketball IQ lifted everyone's performance around them. Meanwhile, Reese's disappointment began manifesting in ways that grabbed everyone's notice. Clark's camp dominance confirmed she's prepared to guide a new generation toward Olympic gold in 20. Her shooting appeared effortless from every floor position. Her passing generated chances that other guards couldn't visualize. Her leadership extracted maximum potential from every teammate nearby. Her blend of talent, leadership, and selfless mentality established the blueprint for USA basketball's future direction. Clark improves everyone simply through her court presence. She transforms role players into contributors and changes good teams into title contenders. The 2026 World Cup and 2028 Olympics became must-see competitions with Clark healthy and prepared for international dominance. What's your opinion on Reese's Team USA worthiness? Share your thoughts in the comments and make sure you're backing Caitlin. Like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you catch everything. Check out the video on screen and we'll see you next time.